Yo, 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 my friends. Double Hatz is back. Shit happens quick when you have a good attitude. Your boy, he's about to be out of his car. Is this coffee? No. It's herbal tea. It's a mix of herbal tea. I just go in gas stations and then the ones that let me take the water for free. And if they tell me they're going to try to charge me, excuse me, I say I'm not taking that shit. That's ridiculous. They would try to charge me for the cup. But yeah, I was saying, think good things happen quick when you have a good attitude and you just keep being persistent and trying. Finally, what I manifested came. I got a room in this big house. And it was after I was disappointed. Because I heard something about that was going to be how it happened. Like, last Friday, this guy I knew hit me up. And he told me that there was a room free at this hotel that asked for $200 a week. Because I went there like when I first came to this area and they said they were full. They had no vacancy. And I really couldn't find a better deal than that. And I was so I stayed in my car and I saved money. But this is while I was doing Uber and I went to these temp agencies. Right when I came here, I heard about temp agencies that do same day pay. So I tried to Google that. And I ended up finding 2 temp agencies, but none of them gave me daily. Well, the one that did give me daily pay, I didn't get the job. It started on my birthday. And that's the one I was telling you about. That's the night shift job, but it's daily pay. So that makes it worth it. And that basically a week of doing that job, and then I saw an ad for, hold on. Well, anyway, I saw this ad for a room, and I tried to, it was on Craigslist, and I've been through a lot of people trying to scam me, and just someone will post an ad and you call them about it and they completely change. It's they didn't mention other costs involved and stuff, but this was very simple. So after being persistent, because a while ago, the first thing I did was I put an ad, and I was I could pay weekly. I don't know, maybe I made a few different ads. I said I could give $150 weekly, and then I said I could give $250 or up to a certain amount weekly. But either way, after I went to this nasty ass disgusting hotel, that I like paid for the week there, and then like by the end of the, like 2 hours later, I called the lady and I'm like, this is way too dirty and I need my money back. And I was worried she was going to be like, no, you already paid, like you have to stay there, or like the week is paid for, like we won't refund you. But she was like really nice and she gave me the money back. And then I was like, yeah, I'd much rather stay in my car that is I keep clean. And because now, like, I spent over an hour. I went to the store, the bed had no sheets. I got sheets. I got all this cleaning stuff. Got this bug spray. Because the guy warned me that it has bugs. But then I tried to clean it, and I just kept finding like cockroaches everywhere. By the time I was like done cleaning it, I wasn't finished cleaning it. I just gave up. I gave up, and I was like, this is too fucking dirty, and it's not what I paid for. And like the walls were super thin, and I was in the smallest room they had. And then I'm trying to clean this fucking dirty ass room, and this guy knocks on my door. Well, I hear him like fucking yelling next to me. And then he knocks on my door and he's like all pissed off, like, could you keep it down in there? When they already told me I had to be quiet, and I was like tiptoeing around. And like all I did is like touch the, I don't even know, I really didn't even make any noise, but that was like close to when I gave up, because I was like, then I tried to be even more quiet and like clean this place, and I just felt like really like I felt like shit was crawling on me. I kept seeing roaches after I think I killed them, and then I would like spray the area with the bug spray I had. The TV sound was not working, and I was like, the heater was like turned on and I didn't know how to like turn it off. Either way, it was just like a horrible experience, and it made me like appreciate living in my car more. Like I already do, but it's just like, yeah. But either way, then my last day of work was Thursday night, and before that night, I went on the Craigslist and I saw that ad. It said that there's a room available for $175. And at this point, I've been through so many people trying to scam in this disgusting ass room, and I was like, I'm just gonna try and see like what it is. Like there was a couple ads and I responded to them, but this guy like texted me back right away. And it was easy as fuck. I just got off work. I went to sleep. I woke up. I told him like I could come at like 2 or 3. I showed up. He showed me the room. It's like in the area that I said I wanted to live when I first showed up to this area. It's in a big house. It has a kitchen. They have soft water, which I never tried before, but it has like, you put salt in the water system, it's better for your skin. And yeah, so now I'm gonna move there tomorrow. And that's exciting, because I'm finally gonna have a bed, not a grimy ass bed that I don't want to sleep on, but a nice bed. Like all I have is my laptop and my clothes, and I have them in a storage locker. Well, most of my stuff. I have like a NutriBullet that but yeah, so I ended up getting that $175 a month. Not a month, a week. My bad. And the other day, I called this guy who had an ad, and like he evaluated like my whole life, and then he started trying to fucking tell me what he thought about like my situation and stuff, and like he had no, like, you can't talk to someone for a few minutes, especially like over the phone, if they're like not in front of you, and be like trying to like judge like their situation and stuff. But I expect that out of people, but I was just like, I kind of like went on with the guy when once he started doing this like weird analysis of me. I just kept going because I wanted to, like, I know my situation seems like bad to people, and I just wanted him to hit me with his best shot, basically. And I kept like explaining like all of his judgments away, and then he's telling me, you're good at like twisting the situation. He's like, I think you're gonna do good in life, but he's like, I don't agree with your conclusion and stuff. He's telling me, and it's like, yeah, I don't know how you could come to a conclusion when I just met you. It's like, you have a room, I have money. That's the only thing we should be like talking about. But he was like asking me like about other shit. It was like this guy on a farm, and he wanted someone to like help him work with the farm, like do chores 2 hours a week. He's just like very condescending and like full of himself. Like, I make more money than this guy right now. I'm not saying that's how you should judge someone, but he was like bragging to me that he only made like $800 a month his whole life. Oh, and then he was telling me I don't have enough humility because I'm like demonizing the person that like fucked me over like at my last apartment. That's what he told me. And I was like, yeah, well, you're not really, all you're asking about is my fucking credit score, and like, then you're just being like, oh, well, you should take more responsibility for the fact that you were in financial difficulty or whatever. It's like, I was never blaming anybody else for my financial difficulty. I know that was because of the choices that I made. But then I sent him this long text message, and I was like, man, you only made $800 a month, like, and you're trying to judge me when I made like $50K my first year out of high school. But then I took risks because I had the courage to take those risks. And it's like, when you want to try to start like taking risks and investing in people or investing in things that is your dream, failure is part of that. Like how I was talking in the last video, I'm an 8, and we try lots of things and we fail, and then we learn from them. But I don't know, I feel like people just get all they do. That's why most people don't invent things. That's why most people give up, and just because they only try once and then they fail, or they think that's what like will characterize you, if you just fail like once or something. And then I kept like having rebuttals for what he was trying to say, and I was because like he would make these judgments, and then I would be like, okay, let me actually break this down for you. Because you're hearing like 5 details, but there's actually a lot more I could tell you. It's just that I don't know why I should even have to do this. If I have money for a place and you have a place, like, past really doesn't matter. But the way he acted, and then he was telling me I need humility, and then I sent him this long, because like then he basically ended the conversation by trying to tell me his opinion in like the meanest way he could. He's like telling me, he's like, you're gonna keep using people and it's gonna keep happening until your attitude changes. And then he just like went away. But before he went away, I was like, who am I using? Because I explained to him that I could have, like, I could go back to my house, like where my parents are, but I'm choosing to just like do whatever the fuck. And he just said something that tried to like bother me, and then he just like left without me being able to respond, because every time I did respond, I would just make him like wanna like pick at me more. And then he's like, oh, I'm done talking to you, but I think you're gonna keep using people. And it's like, what the hell? He's just trying to like, yeah, he was just trying to piss me off. But then I just sent him this long text, and then I blocked him, so I pretty much did what he tried to do. But then all I did is respond to him. It's like, I was like, the way you're acting is not humility. I told him, I was like, I'm simply just saying my truth, and look how it makes, like, I'm saying my truth and I'm making people like walk away because they don't like it. I said something like that, but it was like depicting like what he did. It's like, yeah, you can make up all the stuff you want out of what I tell you, but I'm always gonna come back and tell you like what it really is. Like, I mean, the person basically lied to me and tried to like have me evicted, and it didn't fucking work. Why do you think it didn't fucking work? Because they knew that I was in the fucking right. But then I'm gonna call this guy and he's gonna tell me you're wrong. Like, it does not make sense. What he's trying to say doesn't make sense. But either way, I found like a better thing from that. It's like the reason why I ever got in this position is because I would not say, I would have hunches about shit, but I would keep the benefit of a doubt, because this was like a person that I knew, and they kept saying they're my friend, and like he's telling me the dude disappeared and left me there because I wasn't paying for anything, and it's like, that was not the reason why I came out there at all. And when we got a new apartment, I was already in financial difficulty, and he was like, oh, my roommate was like, you should stay here and try, because we were supposed to be like collaborating on music. That's the main reason I was out there, as a creative person, like, to do that solely. And this guy was a codependent person. He broke up with his girlfriend, and he would hit me up every day saying, oh, you should come out here, like, I want to make music and all this stuff. And it's like, then I came out there, and like all his talk never did anything. And then right when I came out here, he started getting these like karmic friends, and like all these like distracting himself. Like, I sat there for like the first 2 weeks, and he just would fucking like be stuck in like his old ways. Like when I look back on it, it's like he was trying to like ignore me, to like make me like give up. And people do that because they're jealous, because it's like, I put all this work in, he wasted his time on this girl that he ends up telling me, oh, she doesn't do anything anymore. Which now I don't even know if that was really the case. Like, I just find out like people are like very like narcissistic, and then it was my turn to like give this person the supply. But then after I fucking would sit up every day with a good attitude, even though like I was in Arizona and it was super fucking hot, so it was like, you see how white I am, and it's like, yeah, that shit like made it hard for me, because like what I did is I drove when I would live at the apartment, but it was like I never really got to make that much money because of how hot it was like in the sun. I'm not trying to make excuses for anything. It's like there's real obstacles in the way that cause, like, before I took this risk and went across the country, went to invest my time in someone else that is hyping me up and telling me they're gonna put in equal amount of effort, and then I get out there and they're not doing that. They're just working, they're just staying at their job. And I was like, dude, if somebody came out here to go across the country, like I would have switched up my schedule to be like, I was switching up my schedule for them. They weren't switching it up for me. They were the ones that had like that were better off financial than me, but I never really cared about money, and they knew that. So I would say that constantly. But it's like they ended up just being like narcissistic and like and trying to use that shit against me. It's like, no, I said I didn't care about money, but I can make money. And that's what I was about, the whole thing about like me being gifted and like wanting to share knowledge and talents with people. It's like, I know I can make money with people, but it's like I have to like your character, I have to like my environment, I have to like all this shit that most people just like let take them away. Like most people just get a job somewhere with a bunch of people, and then those people influence, it's like school, and then those people influence them to do stupid shit, and then they're just stuck in this stupid little life where they have all these karmic friends and stuff. I was a lone person, and then this person who ended up becoming really clingy to me, he hit me up and he's like, why don't you talk to me anymore? And then he like realized he was losing me, and then he broke up with his girlfriend and was like, you should come out here and stuff like that. Just like very, I don't know, immature, clingy people. It's like I never cared about like status or things that make people have like status, because I know my status, and it's not something that comes from anybody else validating me. You know, it was like I was doing music for like over half my life. Then I come out to someone who's only been talking about it in a chat with me, and it's like the whole time they used to live in a van before that, and it's like the whole time they were doing that and like wasting their time, so they say, and like I knew they were wasting their time, but then they finally come to and they're like, they don't do anything for me. I'm not saying all relationships are a waste of time, but it's like karmic ones are, and ones that only, you know, provide you dumb stuff, like you're with someone for a certain amount of time and you don't grow at all. That's the reason why he's saying she doesn't do anything. But it's like there's two people involved in the situation, but then the whole time like I was working on myself, and I was working on like the music and stuff, and then I come out here and I see this person doesn't work on themselves. This person doesn't even work on music. It's like they're just sitting there like over my shoulder, like asking me what do I think about, like they didn't know anything they wanted out of life. And then I got pissed. I started getting pissed off and low on money to the point where like I couldn't enjoy my life anymore. And it was like I was all in all this debt, and I was like, it was back in May, and I told this person, hey, I'm gonna start looking for these jobs that I'm gonna be like traveling for like 3 or 6 months, because like I'm sick, like I'm stuck in this heat and like I can't do anything anyway. All I do is like smoke weed because it makes me feel like I'm away or something. And I was like, I think I'm gonna go because I don't think you're gonna like me how this is. But he didn't want that narrative to hold, and that's where it goes into like the narcissistic, and like people are afraid of like how they'll look and stuff. Like this guy, I guess his parents never really liked him, and I think he just has like abandonment issues. So he did that to me. He projected that shit onto me. And it's like, go ahead. You really just made my day. Like, I never fucking wanted a roommate. Like, I told him that a bunch of times, because then when we moved out of his first apartment into a second one, I told him to keep the price the same, because then there's no way you could fucking act like I'm supposed to be like paying half of your rent, because that's never the reason why I came out here. I came to collaborate, but then my original plan was only to stay out there for 6 months, but then I got in financial difficulty. That turned into a year. Then the lease ended and we had to get another lease or whatever. So then he convinced me to stay there, because we were gonna go at the other apartment, and I was like, so I came here and I tried all this stuff to like inspire you and like change my life around to be on your schedule, and it's like, and then he tells me, I need more space. And I'm like, man, you had more space when you were in the apartment by yourself and I was on the other side of the country. And you could have just hit me up and we could have done music. But you were the one telling me, come out here, so we can do music. And then I was like, okay, so you're telling me when we go into another apartment, oh, then you're going to change. Like, I'm being sarcastic. But it was like, at the same point, I really had what seemed like no other options at that point. Like, I did have other options, which I eventually did. Like, I eventually cashed out my IRA, because before I went there, I had this IRA, and that was like my little nest egg, and that's why I was comfortable with taking risk and getting in a certain amount of debt, because I always knew I could fall back on that if shit went into like dire straits or whatever. So it's like I had this all planned out. I just didn't know it was gonna, like, that was the reason why I was taking so much risk, like, financially, because it's like I'm good, how it's like I'm an 8, like a lot 8s are bankers and stuff too. Like, I'm good at managing my finances and stuff, to the point where it's like I take risk, and it's like I'll fucking not have a job and I'll fucking do delivery and shit, and it's like I don't know, I've been doing that for a while. Like, it's like, I had a normal job when I first got out of high school. It was a maintenance technician, and I worked from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. I talked a little bit about that. But then I got sick, and I lost everything, and I had to start all over, from like delivering newspapers, being a janitor, doing all these like random ass jobs. And then when the pandemic happened, I thought about like delivering like groceries for people, because I knew the old people needed the groceries. So then that's the beginning of how I got into an even more like free lifestyle, because before that I was just like, well, when I had my first job, I had like $15,000 saved up, and then I bought this car, and then I like just survived off that money. And I would get like temp jobs like in the winter for like Christmas time, like at these plants and stuff, and I hated that. But it's like I would kind of just get by, and like I was living at my parents' house, and this was all because my whole life is centered around me having time to make my music, because that's what I'm actually investing in. I don't want to get paid $18 an hour to invest in someone else's dream. I'd rather get paid nothing right now and invest in my own dream, because I believe and I know that it's worth more than the $18 you're gonna pay me for your fucking $1 billion business. The same way, if you get paid to work at Amazon and you're packaging up an idea that someone else actually put the time and effort into creating, but you're only getting paid $18 and you think that's a lot, but it's like somebody else put the effort into making that product, and you're getting paid $18 while they're sitting there doing nothing after they put all that work in. Maybe they're not doing nothing, but after your original invention that you make, it's kind of like it's called like passive income. But like I explained this shit, I explained this person like a lot of shit, and like they would be like, yeah about everything, to the point where like they didn't even fucking know what they want. I would ask them, what do you want? And they would say nothing. Like, and that's what I mean. I eventually got pissed at them, and like they would ask me about shit to do, and they would say, the one time they tell me, what do you think's what do you think you would do about it? And then I fucking snapped at them, and I was like, don't worry about what I would do about it. Like, I'm done fucking telling you what the fuck I would do about shit. Like, don't you have a fucking brain? Well, it's like, yeah, this person like gaslit me, basically, acting like, oh, I want to do all this shit, and then they sat there and like took all my advice and knowledge and shit, and I bet you they just fucking like told it to other people, acting like they were fucking smart or whatever. You're never gonna win that way. You're never gonna win that way, just fucking copying other people's shit. But I would respect people more if they actually like applied that shit. Like I used to tell, because that was the thing. Back when this guy first started like fucking with me, it was because I got into crypto. And y'all know, if you're into crypto, crypto went up and now crypto's down. And now they talk about like strong hands and shit. It's like the people with strong hands are the ones who during times like this, like they're still looking at researching crypto, learning about crypto every day. That person only came around when the shit coins were popular, and they didn't even fucking win on that shit. I didn't get into shit coins till I had like all these events, and that's what my IRA is in, crypto. So don't get it fucking twisted. I know that shit's gonna fucking take off. I just have to, last long and shit. Because when I cashed out my IRA, I didn't cash it all out. I just realized the market is down right now. I can cash out most of it and use that money, and I'll probably be back up by the time, and I'll still be studying this stuff the whole time. So it's not like right now, if I would have kept that money in crypto, like it would just all be fucking down more. Because everything's just being volatile right now, and it's a long-term thing. People will take the easy way out. People that lie, like they're just pieces of shit. I don't know what to say. Or people that act like they want to know your fucking opinion just so they can be like, oh yeah, like there's something that they said to me after I explained to them a bunch of things. They were like, that's a nice perspective you got there. Like some dumbass shit like that. Do you want to be around someone who fucking acts like that? Or you want to be around someone who fucking values your perspective and doesn't like differentiate? Because that's what this person would do. They were acting like my friend, but secretly they were in competition. When it's like, I'm not fucking competing with anybody. I know that the best shit comes from just being yourself and not trying to fucking compare yourself to others. But people with low self-confidence do that shit. And then they never get out of low self-confidence because they always keep finding flaws about themselves or whatever. Just the way they think is retarded. It's like, don't you realize that instead of asking someone else like what their view is, you can form your own view and you could actually make more of an impact than that person? But it's like, that starts with, I explained that to this person, it's like, you have to want it, you have to have self-confidence. Like, don't fucking look at me to tell you why you want it or to fucking hype you up to give you fucking self-confidence. It's like, we're fucking adults right now. If it didn't fucking happen, good luck. Like, it's not my fucking job. And that's the thing. The one day I just woke up and this dude realized I was gonna fucking leave. And then he's like, oh, now I quit my job. And he's trying to ask me about fucking, does Uber pay, when does Uber pay you and shit. And then I looked at him and I was like, dude, you had so many fucking opportunities. And then I just fucking left. And that was when he got fucking butthurt. And he got all his shit and he fucking, by the time I came back, he was fucking gone. And then he tried to fucking, and then I just sent him a message and I'm like, yeah, the reason why I came out here was to invest, like, in you. And it's like, you could fucking read between the lines and just know that I'm saying I'm fucking disappointed as fuck in the fact that I came out here I'm not gonna say I wasted my time, because I fucking learned about how jealousy and like envy and people with like low self-confidence fucking act. It's like, I had less than like $200 for like years of my fucking life, and I still wake up and I research crypto and I get excited about all this shit, and I try to fucking share it with somebody who's just like not going out of their way to share anything with me. But that's why I say it's a learning experience, because obviously I was putting way too much effort in, and this person would just sit there and be like, yeah, but then it's like, I'm sharing all this information with you and you're not fucking applying it. You're the one who is in this situation where you're like, before I even came out there, he's like, I should invest like $200 in like all this shit you're telling me like every week about crypto. Like, I should give you that to invest in every week. But it goes into the thing of like, people don't want to act like you help them or something. And when that's my purpose, is I know I'm here to fucking help people. But then I approach someone. If I meet the right person that's supposed to be right for me or whatever, they're going to see that I have stuff to offer, and they're going to utilize those things. Not because they're using me, but because they have stuff to offer, and it's mutual. It's interdependence. We're not codepending on each other. It's not like I wake up miserable as fuck and now I gotta look at this person to tell me how to be fucking happy. Or I go to my job that's miserable as fuck, but then I have to come home to someone that lives a completely different life to make me feel like good. Like, that's what was going on before that. And that's why I say this person like projects their fucking insecure ass life like onto me. And then I would fucking sit there and be like, no, this is your fucking life. I just came here to fucking try and help you, because you said you wanted to fucking collaborate, but like, you literally don't have. He would say that, like, I would sit there and make a fucking song or something, or I would try to spell it out for him, and I would be like, do you have anything you can contribute to this that's worth anything? And he would literally, I made him say, like, he's like, I don't have anything to fucking contribute, like, I don't have anything of value to fucking, like, contribute to this. And I'm just like, thank you for fucking admitting that, what I fucking had to, you know, take all this risk to fucking realize. It's because I have a big heart and I care about shit. And then people try to fucking just make you, like, run out of fucking juice. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna run out of shit. I'm just gonna fucking find other people, or, like, self-love is where it starts. That's why I never run out of juice, because I'm not fucking looking for anyone else to get my fucking supply of love out of. It comes from me. I love myself, and then I love other things, and that attracts, I guess it attracts people who love themselves as well, but then it also attracts people who are jealous and envious, and they're like, how the fuck are you doing that and shit. Like, it was weird as fuck, and it started, like, clicking in, like, little bits at a time, because, like, one day I was, like, out of gas, and, like, I had, like, 10 miles, it said, like, on my, I don't know, like, 2 miles, like, on my gas thing, like, it was running down. And then all of a sudden, this girl behind me, like, taps my fucking car a little bit, and then she follows me, and, like, I pull over, and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I know, but I have to, like, keep going, because, like, I'm about to run out of gas. And then she's, like, super nice to me, and she gave me, like, a White Claw, and then she's like, and then she gave me $30 for gas, right? Shit like this happens to me all the time, and it's because I'm on the right path. And then, you know, there's people that are used as, like, I meet people that are angels, and they help me, like, when I least expect it. It's been happening to me, like, when it comes to, like, how I run low on money, and it's like I get discouraged, and I'm like, but then things happen, they confirm, like, you're on the right path or whatever. But either way, that happened to me, and then I come home and I tell this dude with a big smile, I'm like, guess what happened to me? And, like, I could just see his fucking reaction, that he's not fucking happy that, like, something good happened for me. And then I tell him the story of, like, that, what happened, and, like, he just has this dumbass reaction where he's like, you know, things happen to you like that. Or he's just fucking, like, frustrated with the fact something fucking good happened to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, that is not, like, how... And, like, I've had that feeling, but I just figured this person was like this because he grew up with a fucked up childhood, and, like, he never knew how to, like, express love. But then I guess I realized that he just wants other people to be fucking sunken down like him. Like, he doesn't have ambitions to, like, get, like, happy and, like, wake up with a smile. He just wants to fucking be a fucking cloud in people's lives to bring them fucking down with him and fucking sit there. Like, I don't get it. That's the thing, because I used to live at like where I grew up, like with my parents, like my grandmother was a lot like this person, but this person is actually fucking worse than my grandmother. She's like 70 something, but she's like, she never fucking smiles. When you see her like in pictures, like she's never fucking smiling. And like this person, that's what I realized as I learned. And like that's what I mean. It was like I was prepared for like the next fucking level of this shit. It's like people get abused and then they turn into victims. But then they tell themselves that they're not victims, and they try to fucking make other people in the victims that are like happy. It's like a fucked up thing. Cause like when I used to fucking talk to this person about music, I'm like, don't you have any emotions or anything that you want to put into like music or anything? And he's like, no. Or like any like repressed emotions. That's what I said, repressed emotions, because I explained to him about how like a lot of songs that like, you know, artists make, it's about like, that's a special thing about music, is that you can make a song about something negative and like everyone sings along with you, but like if you go out in society and like tell someone you hate them or something, like they're not gonna like that. But I was basically like telling him like, don't you have like anything like down inside there that you want to like say? And he basically was like, oh no, I don't have those. And like then I heard like a while later, it's like that's a fucking red flag when somebody says that, like they don't have like anything to like work on about themselves, or like they don't have like any emotions or anything like that. It's like, no, you just repress them so much that you fucking act stupid. You act like it doesn't, like that's what my grandma would do all the time too. Like she would fucking be nasty and then she'd act like, I don't know, like when did I do that or whatever. So it's kind of like they either lash out and then they act like that wasn't me, like I didn't do that, or they just don't fucking do anything at all, and they secretly have. I guess that's the next level of repression, is like this person would not do anything at all and he would fucking be a yes man about everything, but he would just not ever be fucking happy unless I fucking like do something funny. Then like you make them laugh for a little bit, but it's like no fucking natural happiness off of like your own supply of like being happy. But yeah, the reason why I guess I'm getting this out is like, it's crazy because I'm Taurus and it was just my birthday, and now the new moon's in Taurus, and it's like I just got my new house. I had like the 7th house in Taurus. The 2nd house is my moon, and it has Jupiter conjunct. So I don't have a problem with being fucking happy. I don't have a problem with addressing any like emotions on like a deep ass like scale, and that's something that's like intimidating to people. Because vulnerability is strength. Not fucking sitting there with a fucking stone ass face being like, yeah, this is how a grown man acts. Like, life is being about, or at least through my eyes, and like what I'm trying to do. It's like being passionate, and then the subgenre, or the sub, like the tree is, the stump is passion, the big branches are compassion, because you can't be compassionate if you don't have just raw passion. But then when you have compassion, like you focus that, you're able to focus that on other people and like good intentions. Because if you're just blind by passion, you're hateful, and like just everything is like 100, right? But it's like if you become compassionate, like now that's like a subgenre of passion, but it's like more focused. And then I feel like being vulnerable is like after you know how to do those two things. Because you can be passionate and you can be compassionate. Like, for example, like a nurse, right? I could spend my whole day running around trying to please everybody else. But at the end of the day, I have to be vulnerable about what I need, or my own like emotions. Like, I could be a therapist and I could tell people, or make other people feel good and like let them vent, but at the end of the day, I need to fucking, vent and say what's on my mind or whatever. So I feel like I could relate that to music. It's like coming to my head right now. It's like anybody could be a fan of music, right? But then for you to become an artist and like, or I should say like collaborate like with other people, like that takes like compassion, because I have to be trying to make someone else better. It's not just about me fucking enjoying something, because we're making sure multiple parties or two parties like are like having the same goal in mind. And I feel like that's like a evolution type thing where it's like, yeah, because even when you're like an artist, if you just start off like solo and you only care about yourself, like you have that passion, but it's like you don't have that compassion yet. So it could come in different like orders, but it's like I feel like that's the evolution of like an artist that's in the music in general. It's like you like music, then you learn how to collaborate with other people, and then you have to actually reveal your vulnerabilities, which is that could be part of, or what comes out of like collaborating with someone. Like you get better at like becoming vulnerable when you see this artist be vulnerable, and then it's like, yeah, I want to do that too. Like music is all about like relating. That's why they say it's the best it's the number one language. It's the best communicator. But it's like if you can't be vulnerable and you can't collaborate, you're just gonna be a mad ass person that's like selfish, I feel like. And it's like, yeah, I like this song, this is my song. But no, it's a lot of other people's song too, because they relate to what's being said, and they probably appreciate what's being said because somebody's being vulnerable. Whether it's about something they want, like in the song, like whether the artist is talking about like something they want, something they don't like. Yeah. I didn't post it, but in the last video, I was interrupted by this spider. And then I found the spider, like at night. When I was going to bed, I found the spider. And I was like, I knew I was not tripping when I saw that spider. Yeah, I think that's a good way to end it. Like, passion, compassion, vulnerability. Like, what the fuck else is life about? Anybody could be passionate. Anybody could be passionate and like a butthurt, fucking mad ass person that's like selfish. And the next level is compassion, like being able to collaborate your passion. And I'm not saying everybody has to agree with what you're passionate about. I'm just saying you're allowed to be, like, you should aim to be passionate, but not be trying to fucking like shit on people or be mad at yourself. And then vulnerability. And I feel like the real third step of like vulnerability is like being vulnerable, like with yourself, like by yourself. Like, it's easy to cry to your fucking mom or to someone that you know how they're gonna like react to you. But when you're just all alone and like you have to show yourself that like affection or whatever, like, yeah, like that's part of, I feel like, real like vulnerability, because like you're not depending on someone else to like, pat you on the back and be like, oh, it's okay. I'm not saying that shouldn't happen, but I feel like when you are vulnerable on your own, you'll find more of those people who come out of nowhere. That's like why people like music. It's like an artist, he learns to be vulnerable on the song when nobody's watching, but then everybody hears the song and they're like, yeah, like I feel that, or whatever. So like that's how they like support them and like pat them on the back, kind of. It'd be like, I relate to that. But yeah, I wanted to just get that out. I wanted to get that out. Because it's like I'm finally gonna, like I've been in this situation because of, you know, getting screwed over and all that. So it's like I'm finally about to like come out of that situation. I just wanted to like ramble on about the past for a little bit and let everything go. The moon's waning away. It's about to be a new moon in Taurus, and I'm about to get a new place. I kind of just want to leave it all behind and say what I have to say about it. It's like I think about this a lot, just like what happened a lot, and it's like that was why I fucking left in the original place, because it was like I didn't want to say anything too fucking mean to this person, because I know that they are the way they are because they obviously have shit to work on. So it was like I kind of just left them, and I was gonna come back later when I was like fucking cooled down. But then they just tried to fuck with my life. So like, yeah. And that's the thing, like, I know I'm gonna be successful in life. I had the vulnerability. Like, I basically went up to this person and I held my arm out and I was like, here you go. If you wanna fucking hit me, fucking do it. And then they decided to fucking hit me and fucking go against me. So it's like, oh, you did that for your own selfishness, but guess what? Now I'm not gonna fucking come. Now I'm gonna set boundaries, and I'm not gonna fucking give you that chance ever again. Because like a lot of people, they get successful and they don't test their fucking people that are around them before they get successful. And then they let that hit happen, like after they get all the shit, and like they treat that person like with that shit. Like that's part of the reason why I self-sabotage when I don't feel like things are right. It's like a thing that I noticed. It's like this person's energy is off. It might seem like fucked up, but I feel like it works out. It works out in life. It's like before you get rich with someone, Don't you want to see how they treat you when you're fucking poor and struggling? That's basically what I'm saying. So it's like, I feel like that's a thing I kind of self-sabotage, and maybe I made myself go through that, but it was like, that was the reason why, because my soul wanted to fucking know. I wanted to fucking test this person and be like, are you really my friend, or are you just sitting there like saying like, yeah, yeah, yeah? But I got stuck in that, and then it was like, then I was by myself, and I had to be like, there's no reason to self-sabotage anymore, because you have no one left to test. You're the only one left. And it's not like I'm perfect. Like, this is a growing process. Like, I definitely did like self-sabotage again, like since this person like disappeared and like left me to myself. But like, I'm not like disillusioned by that. It's like a thing I was stuck in, like patterns. It's like I used to be the same way when I lived at my grandma's house. It was like, they would fucking expect me to like pay rent there, but then it was like, oh yeah, but I'm not getting treated how I feel like I should be getting treated, so why should I be contributing to something that like you would be paying for if I was gone? And like, you sit there and say like I should be gone. So it's like, you're gonna like, it's a messed up thing. And then that's what I mean. Like, I came out there to fucking be doing what I was doing in my room, like basically in secret, while my parents would tell me like, you don't do anything, you're just sitting in your room like smoking weed. And it's like, no, I'm fucking working on my fucking passion. So like, that sucks when people like say that to you. They try to devalue exactly what I feel like my worth and what I'm here to do. So like, that's been a struggle of my life, and I feel like maybe I'm finally getting in this next place I'm gonna be in. There's gonna be roommates, but I'm just gonna have my own room, and I just wanna be able to work on my music. And that was really all this was all ever about. But it's like, I had to go through the trials and tribulations and like self-sabotaging myself after, like, I could have been right now in such a better position, but I self-sabotaged myself, and I would still, like, it wasn't until like a month or two ago, like, I still like would smoke weed a lot. And it's like, instead of like making money, I would just like make enough money. And that's like a thing of like how they say, like, getting out of like a lack mentality and getting into like an abundance one. And it's like, even if I did just do the same thing and I just made enough money, so then I could sit around and like make my music, like, that's kind of like what I still like strive to do. It's just that when I'm in an environment surrounded by people who I don't want to fucking like celebrate with, and it's like, I feel like I'm taking energy to like make them or they're just like, I have to like prove something to them. It's like, I don't really even want to be in that environment, and I'll save the success for like when I'm in the environment, like for success. But that's why I say it's like a thing where this is really the first time that it's like up to me to like create that environment, and like I'm not like giving my power to like anybody else to be like believing in them, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to this person and live with them because they told me it's gonna be great, and then I show up and it's like, no, it's not. And that's not me being like unappreciative of like someone like letting me like stay with them, but it's just like, you knew my mission from the fucking start. My mission from the start was not to fucking live with anybody and be like a mooch off them. That's what ended up happening because of the fucking environment that I never became a mooch off anybody. I paid for my own shit the whole time, and this person had a 1-bedroom apartment for like $1,000, and they told me to come out here and fucking sleep on the couch while we collaborate on music. And this dude never fucking took any fucking initiative, or wasn't like, I showed up with my shit and like he fucking wanted to smoke weed when I fucking quit smoking weed, and I wanted to start like a new thing like in my life and like be focused and shit. But like this person, that's what I mean, like people just try to drag you down because they're like, oh no, this guy, he did a lot of work and he's like actually ready to do shit. It's like, we don't want him to be ready. But I never fucking thought about it like that in the present. I was just like, I give things the benefit of the doubt, and I'm like a very like loving, like nurturing person. So it's just a thing of like boundaries. Like I learned I shouldn't be doing that to like everyone. Like I should be doing that to everyone, but I shouldn't be like overlooking like all the fucking red flags. But at the same time, I was stuck in that first environment and I was in, and this person was making it seem like the grass is greener like on the other side. It was in the sense of like I was from like a small ass village with less than 300 people to like a giant city, but I was fucking poor and I couldn't fuck with the city or like do anything because of like the heat and stuff. So it was like I was like trapped with this person, and yeah, I just can never unforget how I would fucking wake up and like be all ready and like have like the fucking room turned into a studio and like prepared to like fucking go hard. And I would tell this person, I came here to fucking go hard. Like I didn't come here to fucking do this shit as a hobby. And then it's like then they would just fucking wake up with this fucking, what's up? Look at me with this fucking cold ass face and like never be fucking happy. But I would continue to be fucking happy every fucking day. Why? Because that's why I feel like I was just prepared for this, and this was just like the next level, and I'm finally gonna fucking break through all this shit. Because like I got rid of like all the negative fucking people in my life now. The only thing to stop now is quit thinking about negative shit. But it's like there's a balance, because it's like I want to reflect on the past shit, say what I have to say, learn from it, and then be on my way. So that's what I'm going to do. Double hats.